All right. This next induction is really special to me because this guy is simply amazing. One of the most humble, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And he's been through a lot of stuff, and he's done an awful lot on the East Coast sport of surfing, if not the world of surfing. Ladies and gentlemen, John Holeman. You can feel the love in this room for this guy. And he's also got the greatest sense of humor on the planet. So, start with that. Adam Ant is what he looks like there. And that contorted torso, we'll come back into this conversation later on, but just want to say that John started surfing at the age of 5. I believe he lived on the ocean front in Atlantic, Florida. Starting competing at 14 in local ESA and NSA events, and instantly started turning heads. What the hell was that guy just did? Did you see that? Did he really do that? This guy did aerials that had the Hawaiians. At one event I was announcing, Buttons came up to me and said, "Who is that guy and where did he learn to do that? That's insane." And Buttons at that time was the premier hot dog surfer in the world, and he's talking about John Holeman. His first year as a pro, he won Rookie of the Year and won the East Coast Championship that very same year. He did things on waves that only in the last 10 years have become a routine matter of surfing. Pop shove-its. What the hell was a pop shove-it on a surfboard back in 1984? It was unheard of. It just didn't exist. And this guy would go out and do it, and that was the thing. If you blinked, you missed it. He did these things that were absolutely mind-blowing. A pioneer of aerial surfing. You know, Keck was one that was started throwing airs. John was the one that landed them and surfed out of them on a regular basis. Unbelievable. Does the West Coast know this? I don't think so, but they should. John Holeman is a pioneer. And John has given back to the surf community because he judges prolifically. He's out there judging all the time. And I really like it when he judges. He's on the scaffolding above me, and his nose gives me some shade. It's really nice. In fact, the other day I was walking behind him and I almost tripped over the shadow of his nose. But that was the key, and that was the secret that nobody knew. That how did he get those aerials done? He just exhaled. That was nasal-assisted surfing. But just all jokes aside, the guy's talent is amazing. Just a quick story. One day I was broken down. I didn't really know John other than announcing contests. I wasn't a personal friend of his. I was broken down on the side of the road in the Atlantic. My van had burned through a fan belt. And I'm standing there scratching my head, not knowing what the hell I'm going to do. John and Patty pull up, get out of the car. What can we do? What's going on? Took me down to an auto parts store, got me, fixed me up with the fan belt, came back, helped me put it on, and waved goodbye, said, "See you later." What a human being. To this day, I remember that, and I was always stunned by their human kindness. A superhuman being. Everybody should know that he has overcome heart disease. He had a heart transplant caused by walking pneumonia. And he's sitting up here today healthy, throwing aerials, coaching. He is the most preeminent surf coach on the East Coast today. John Holeman, surf coaching. He's epic. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my heroes, John Holeman.
very much. I appreciate it. Just before I came up, Hunter informed me that it's 2 to 3 minute speech. So there goes that. My list is quite long of thank yous, so pretty much you're just going to get that. But Hunter was talking about inspirations and where I started doing these airs and where did I get the idea. The idea came from a skinny, cocky little kid out of Cocoa Beach that I used to watch when I was a kid growing up. And at the time, I didn't know we were about the same age because his surfing was so far progressed, I thought he was in his 20s and 30s. This kid's name was Mr. Matt Keckley. Yeah. Matt was doing things in my eyes that I wanted to do that I didn't think were possible. So I studied Matt, and I learned from Matt, and I would sit up on the beach during competitions and take notes, and I'd go out and practice exactly what he was doing. And I quickly learned the aerial 180, and I told my friends, you know what, I think I can rotate this all the way around. My friends were like, yeah, you're nuts, you're crazy, it'll never happen, there's no such thing. Well, that was fuel on the fire for us surfers. We know, don't tell us we can't, we will. 1980, the spring of 1980, the south end of Paradise Beach Park, I took off on a shoulder high wave and I launched as hard as I could and rotated as hard as I could, and I did my first air 360. Matt was my inspiration for that. I take my hat off to Matt for inspiring me at such a young age. Thank you, Matt. Years progressed and was a paint contractor after I retired from surfing, and went out in the water one day and paddled 20 feet off the beach. I couldn't catch my breath. I didn't know what it was. Well, I came in and this lady, a mall walker, walked by. Mall walker. Ladies who walk the mall. She about ran me down. She goes, sir, are you okay? I said, yeah. She goes, you're pale as a ghost. You need to go in. So I went in and looked, and sure enough, I was white as a ghost with blue lips. I didn't know what was going on. Rushed myself to the hospital, and they said, you have what's called cardiomyopathy. 6 weeks prior, I had walking pneumonia. So if you ever get pneumonia, go get checked out. That virus can get in your heart and enlarge your heart 3 times its size is what happened to me. Well, I ended up getting a heart transplant, like Hunter said, and life became a full circle. Now I'm back in the surf industry as a surf coach. How ironic is that? I'm trying to... It's important for me, with my background in aerials, to progress the East Coast as far as I can. The rest of the world is zipping by us because every coast in the world has professional surf coaches. Right now, the East Coast is lacking that. And I'm not doing this as a plug for my business, but to let you know that I'm trying to give back to the best of my abilities to this industry so surfing can get back to where it used to be. And to stand up here and receive this award with my fellow inductees is the greatest full circle anyone could ever get. So I want to thank the board of directors. I have a small list that I have to read off, because if I don't, there are some people that will kill me. First of all, I got to thank my Lord Jesus Christ and God for saving me, giving me a second chance at life. If it weren't for God's talents, I wouldn't be here. Pete and Debbie Dooley, Jeff Crawford, Larry Pope. I was told by many people in this industry, thank Larry Pope. Larry, thank you very much. Craig Bobbitt, Carl Bolak, Danny Smith, who got me started in surfing amateur contests when I was younger. Thank you, Danny. Larry Pope. Matt Keckley, my inspiration. Bruce Walker. Sammy Barker, my shaper, master craftsman. Thank you, Sammy. Joe Pollock of Hyperflex Wetsuits. As you can see, I used to ride Surf East. They're now Hyperflex. Joe has been sponsoring me for 20 years. He's the greatest guy in the world. Thank you, Joe. Larry Pope. Greg Lohr, my lovely wife and son. Paul, you're my inspiration. Honey, How you put up with me, I have no idea, but thank you. Greg Lure, master craftsman and mad scientist in our industry. Ricky Carroll. Tim Bryers, special note. I was not very welcomed in the pro ranks because I was putting a lot of guys out with this trick, so not a lot of people liked me, but Timmy took me under his wing, mentored me, and befriended me, and what a guy. Thank you, Timmy. I appreciate that. Yeah. Larry Pope. Stu Sharp, Doug Waters, Steve Mollenhauer, Hunter. Hunter and I go way back. He can say whatever he wants about me. I love Hunter to death. He's a great guy. I've learned a lot from Hunter. He's a smart man in this industry. Thank you, Hunter. Last but not least, say it with me, Mr. Larry Pope. Thank you. Have a good night.